Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everyone for coming back to my channel, and if you're listening the podcast, thank you so much for being here. It is Monday, February 26, 2024. I'm here to tell you about a case that we just learned about over this weekend. It's a very sad case. It's regarding this couple, elderly couple, retired couple that have been missing for a couple of days now, and they believe that they are right now presumed dead because their boat that they were taking a trip on was discovered, and apparently this boat was hijacked by three escaped prisoners. Okay, this is very sad, like I said. So prayers to everybody who's involved in this, everybody who knew the couple, the families. This couple worked their entire life, which a lot of us this is our dream, right? We like to, a lot of people, you hear them speaking and they say things like, I cannot wait till I retired so I can start living. And this goes to show you, without putting obviously no guilt or anything like that, life is what you have in the moment, so you better make the best out of it. This is a tragic story. The we live in a broken world. So this couple, like I said, were traveling. Their name is Kathy Brendel and Ralph Henry. Were traveling on their yacht when three prison escapees took control of the vessel and disposed of the couple. That's what police is saying right now. This is breaking news, like I said. It probably can change. The facts are going to change eventually, probably within a week, or it could take longer. But they believe that this couple, the bodies, were thrown overseas, onto the sea. So here's the crazy thing. Like I said, I cannot imagine the nightmare, the pain that this couple went through. What a horrific attack, to be enjoying your time that you finally reached, retire. You have a boat, you have the time and the leisure to go out and do what you like to do, right? And then you encounter three prisoners. And from what I heard, from what I learned about this couple before I came here and do this story, is that they were very welcoming people. And they seem like, you see their picture, they look like very welcoming people that will help anybody who asks for help. And when, I don't really go into boats and things like that. That's kind of like not my thing. But if, I know there's like a whole community. If you see somebody like in need, especially, within the waters, I guess I can say. I don't even know how to say because I'm not familiar with that. You immediately offer help and things like that. So I cannot imagine. Maybe they were approached by these three escaped prisoners, and then they probably asked for help, and then the whole thing turned evil, and now the couple has been missing. But like I said, I cannot imagine their pain, what they went through. That reality, when that reality sets in, you're helping somebody, and these people that you let into your private space, you're trying to do a good deed, and then it eventually turn into evil. So it's very sad. They say their boat appear to be completely ransacked. Excuse me. So obviously they were, looking for stuff to keep, to wrap. They completely wrapped them, and they also wrapped them of their life. Complete disregard of anything, you know. It's so crazy. But let me read to you guys this story. Like I said, it's very sad. Um, Prison escapees hijacked boat of missing American couple in Grenada. That's what the police is saying right now. Kathy Brendel and Ralph Henry were traveling on their yacht when the three prison escapees took control of the vessel and disposed of the couple. The authorities are saying, just briefly, this reminds me of that movie that, what is his name? That movie that he did, and I don't know if it was Tom Hanks, and they got pirates in the boat, and then I remember one particular one of the pirates was saying, I am the captain now. I remember that line from that movie, and that movie was really like, even though the setting wasn't like a shootout type of thing, it was very tense and terrifying. I always wonder, I see so many people go on a cruise and things like that. Like I said, that's not kind of like my thing. Um, but I always wonder, like, what if they have somebody, who's causing trouble and things like that? But are they ever like short staffed that they're like, oh well, we don't have anybody in the prison? Like I know a lot of these crews, they have like a prison area for anybody who doesn't behave and things like that. I cannot imagine like having to travel. I guess the same thing goes like when you're in an airplane in such a compound space to have somebody who's threatening to you. I cannot imagine. So this is very sad. Like I said, let me continue to read this article. The authorities in Grenada said on Monday, today the 26th, that they believe an American couple who has been traveling in their catamaran in the Caribbean were hijacked by three escapees prisoners who disposed of them last week. The couple, Ralph Henry and Kathy Brandel, had departed from Virginia, and were spending the winter cruising in the Caribbean. Man, spending the entire winter time cruising in the Caribbean, like that's just magical even saying it. I cannot imagine like living that. So they work very hard to be able to do something like that. It says here they were missing while sailing off Grenada. On February 21st, their boat turned up empty in neighboring St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't know. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing some of these names. On Monday, the Royal Grenada Police Force confirmed that the three prison escapees made their getaway after they hijacked the catamaran called Simplicity, with Mr. Henry and Mrs. Brandel aboard. Information suggests that while traveling between Grenada and St. Vincent, they disposed of the occupants. This is what the police commissioner is saying. The police will not say explicitly that they believe Mr. Henry and Mrs. Brandel were dead, but they were still considered missing. We have nothing conclusive to say that the individuals are dead. What I can say to the family is my condolences, adding that he was still hoping for us what I consider a positive outcome, which is we still have the hope that the worst case scenario will not be a reality. Okay, that's kind of like an interesting way to put it, that hoping that the worst case scenario will not be a reality. According to the Sailing Association, a nonprofit that brings together cruise and sailing and cruising enthusiasts, notified on February 21st that members yacht Simplicity, that's the name of their boat, that's what it was called, Simplicity, was found anchored and abandoned off a beach on the south coast of St. Vincent. The skipper boarded the catam- ca- catamaran and noted that its owner were not on board. The association statement said the missing boat owners were identified as Mr. Henry 66 and Mrs. Brandel 71 by the association and Miss Brandel's son Nick Burrow. Mr. Henry and Mrs. Brandel, who were married for 27 years, were experienced sailors who lived on their boat. So that's interesting. Just as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, wow, these are not just people who retired when they were like, okay, let's buy a boat and go in the Caribbean. Like, these are people who had this boat for a long time, and they also were experienced sailors. So I'm sure they knew the safety concerns that they might encounter. I'm sure it's not the first time that they gone to the Caribbean. For you to plan a trip to take the entire 3 months of the winter time cruising and living in your boat, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, this is not like an experiment that you like, okay, let's gather together. like living, I know, like I said, that's not my thing, but I hear from people stories about going fishing for a couple days or something. They get seasick very quickly. And imagine planning that trip for like 3 months. Like you are an expert. You don't just wake up one day and be like, I'm just gonna do that. um so I'm sure they have their safety escape, their safety. It's not like they're so like, from what I'm reading right now, that's what I'm getting at. It looks to me these are not naive people. They're not gonna like, oh, somebody's trying to get on the boat, let's see if they need our help. Like, they know the area, they know what they were doing. So just by reading this, I really hope that they find them. um I don't know. I mean, the police, why they're saying that? They have so much information about who got in that boat and who were those people, but they don't know where the owners are. It's almost like they either have the story, but I don't think the police will be giving false hope to the family. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, this is a breaking news story from February 21st when they were first reported missing. So I'm sure as the details come out, things are going to change and the facts are going to be more clear. Let's see here. The association said that it had a tracking map to follow members' boats and that it showed the simplicity the boat that they own was anchored in Grenada before docking off St. Vincent. Separately, the Royal Grenada Police Force said on February 22nd that the three men who escaped from the prison in Grenada on February 18 made their way to St. Vincent using a yacht that had been docked in St. George area of Grenada. The prisoners were recaptured on February 21st, excuse me, the same day that the couple's vessel was found. The authorities identified the prisoners as Trevon Robertson, 19 years old, Abita Stanley's 25, and Ron Mitchell, 30 years old. They have been previously charged jointly in a violent robbery case in December. Mr. Mitchell also faced various separate charges that include harming, indecent assault, and rape. It was not immediately clear on Monday what charges they might face regarding the couple's disappearance. The police commissioner said that a team of investigators from Grenada and St. Vincent and the Coast Guard were dispatched to follow the investigation, to help in the investigation. So it is so sad, like I said. Um, oh, I just learned something. They have a GoFundMe account. And as you guys know, I really like GoFundMe because we can come together even though we're not like immediate people around the family who are affected. We can come together and help them somehow. So we'll be posting the link to that GoFundMe page that it was created for them. So keep the family in prayers. I really hope that a good positive outcome come from this. I'm very surprised though that if they capture the three escapees, they don't have a definite answer of what happened. Like, why would the police say, we're still looking for them, we still have them as missing, while the people responsible for hijacking their boat, they they've been captured. I mean, so it's quite interesting that. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Like I said, I will be posting the GoFundMe link. Please go ahead and help out. And thank you so much for coming to my channel. Have a good day. God bless.